Awesome. I promised I would have covered the subject of why I decided to share this Tit Sin Kuen with you and all the issues that have been uh, um, written by people afraid that this might be inflection or spoiled the spreading around so much, but I really didn't have the time today. It's fun because we are locked down, but this thing of fighting the coronavirus and try to overcome the lockdown problems brought me to do more things. And I started several projects in all the activities that and so today I didn't have the time, so it will probably be tomorrow. Also because I have a mother that is 104 years old, and I have also to take care of her. So time runs away, and there's not enough time for doing everything. So before getting into the form and the practical things and going on, and I think we might finish the fourth section that is on right and left, which is there's not much more. Again, I had some questions about the translations that apparently are the most common problem for everybody. I understand that I introduced some concepts that are not common in the martial arts schools because I think that some of them might have been lost during the years due to a number of different causes that I don't want to discuss here because it would be too long and brought us away from our subject, which is trying to understand the value of the Tit Sin Kuen, trying to understand how the Tit Sin Kuen can help the not the beginner but the average practitioner of the Hung style to better understand the forms and eventually help him to make his to get more consciousness when he reaches the point that he knows all the other forms. So I understand that the translations are tricky because you have to synchronize and make work in harmony, in perfect harmony, different activities of your body, which are mental activities. So the process of hearing and the imagination of the fight, and also the sensorial activities like look, and then there is the breathing and the movement of the waist, the control of the center of gravity, all this stuff. Muhammad, ciao Muhammad from Egypt, ciao everybody. All those subjects are important, are tricky, but altogether are even more tricky. So I understand, and also I want to underline another time that the translations are, in my opinion, one of the most important parts of the Tit Sin Kuen, because obviously the most important thing is the movement of the waist, the use of the waist, but for helping the air go in and out and helping your body to be efficient. But that movement of the waist combined with the translation opens the view on any other martial arts, because it's really a matter, martial arts is a matter of controlling the space. And so a good and efficient translation gives you an enormous advantage. And Tit Sin Kuen is about translations, in spite of the fact that they are very small, they look tiny, but what they give you is the control of the space. So let's go again to those translations and see how to. There's been a couple of emails with this kind of the same subject. So how the move. I use the word the breathing for being clear, but it's not the breathing. We know that it's about the movement of the pelvis, but let's call it the breathing so it's clear. So how to coordinate the breathing with the movement of the center of balance of gravity and then of the legs during those translations. And this is something I want to show you now. So we are section that is the one we are working on now in these days, and we want to before going on with the next movements, I want to again cover the idea of the translation. So let's get into the stance a little. So to always, please, when you start a form, get into the stance and into the rhythm of the pelvis, and put all your attention here, and you'll feel that everything gets better. And then put your center of gravity in front of your pelvis, just there. So it's just like you feel like you want to go forward, but you control it. But it's just, the idea is that when you're in frontal way, whenever you are on an attack line that can be frontal, can be on the side, always feel that going forward is very easy, because if you feel that going forward is very easy, this means that you're ready to occupy the space and to move, okay? So let's get into, okay. So it's oh. In this moment, okay, after the oh, you're empty. You release your breath, and while you release your pelvis, the air gets in slowly, and in the same time you move slightly your center of gravity on the left leg. And so it's just a matter of, like, hey, hey, hey. And the same on the other side. Just move it a little. Hey. Okay, so it's, there's no pushing from the feet. This is the important thing to know. It's not the feet. It doesn't come from the feet. It comes from this. Okay. So it's oh, hey. Okay. Same on the side. Oh, hey. Hey. Your weight. The feet touch the ground consistently on the front, from the arch forward, from the arch backward. They touch the ground, but very, very lightly. Okay, this is the first translation, okay? Then the second translation is, hey, Okay, this translation, remember what we said. After the first, hey, we didn't go back, really. It's just a matter of pretending you're going back, but in fact, you are occupying the space with your torso, hey. And the thing is that your left foot pivots on the forefoot, but because you're on your heels are light, are free, and so that have space. Okay, well, let's do it on the other side. Hey. And then, and again, that's, oh. And now, here, this is the engine of everything. Hey. Oh, gotta go back. Even when you do this fun, okay? And then, if you don't use the waist, you cannot go forward, because if you push the leg, you need to go back, for pushing. But if you use the waist, it's the waist that wants to go there, and the legs follow. Important. Remember, always, every movement comes from your center of everything, which is this. No, there's, it's obvious that the Chinese think that everything lies here, because if you feel it, if you move it, you feel that everything starts from here, and the rest of the body follows, okay? So, this is what I hope I covered, what have been requested by me. I hope who requested is satisfied, so let's go. Try to resume. We start with a salute, as always, and then we just mimic the rest of the part, the next part, to save some time, since we don't want to finish the fourth section. Hey. Blah, 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 blah. Blah. Oh. Then, translation. Here. Okay. Back. The other way. Okay. Translation. Perception, intention, eyes, and with the eyes, the waist. So perception, intention, eyes, and waist. Right hand below here. Okay? And now, let's go to our fourth part. Oh. Hey. Hey. Hmm. Oh. Ah. Hey. Bah. Hmm. Oh. Ah. Hey. Cha. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Hey. Hey. Hmm. Oh. Ah. Hey. Bah. Hmm. Oh. Ah. Hey. Cha. Hmm. And that's it. So we've finished our fourth section that, in my opinion, is the most tricky, intriguing, interesting, and and useful of all the form, because this part of the translation is what really the scene is all about. Because in this part, we put together everything. And there's many, many, many bridges. Remember that the bridge, because you invade, and this is strong and clear P. That's fun again in P. And then this check. But this is just check. But the last one is check. Hey, hey, this is check and ting because it's the last. So it's just you're putting everything in your on your up or everything you have on the last blow that you throw to your opponents, and that is the winning blow. You know, that's bam, bam. This is if you use it in a as if you try to put it in an idea of reality and not of pure conceptual form. This is just bam, bam, and you're done. I mean, you're whatever your opponent is finished. You can also think it as this chair is instead of is there, and then again, bam. It's it's up to you. What I want to say that if somebody tells you that here you somebody grab your hand, and then you pull to free your hand, and then you block a blow that comes here, and then you this is bullshit. What you understand from the scene here is that your movements are all about occupying the space, retreating a little without giving back too much space, or just giving back less space than what your opponent thinks. Because if you go back and go back with your weight on the rear foot, you lose a lot of space. But if you go back this way, you don't lose anything. You just pretend you're losing. So your opponent follows you, bam, 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 it's just one, bam, bam, and you counterattack immediately. So the idea of that thing is what the awesome Bruce Lee said away. The end of training the forms is just understanding that there's no forms. And that the si-hing and the own style progression is exactly that strongly Chinese idea. So it's, you start with a form based on the techniques, so the gong chi fo fu, and or the other minor forms like mui fa-kun, na-ga-kun, and budip, which are very beautiful forms, interesting, but are not the basic kosher style. I mean, they came later, but Wang Fei Hung, with the Wang Fei Hung rebuilding of the Hung style, or the Wang Fei Hung definition of the Hung style was about a few animals, like the tiger, that starts appearing, but mostly is pure techniques, this kind of things. And then you move to the full hawk, where the animals get more strongly into the thing. So you have you have mainly, what the important things are mainly the crane and the tiger, which are basically, as we said, the same thing, which is something that must be eventual. Space, the concept of the bridges, you start to see the bridges one. So, I mean, to control and deflect those things, and this is one, but at the same time, there's always P, and then there is also chin, because the crane is chin, is the same concept as the 1-inch punch, because your crane starts from the waist and brings the power from the waist to the arm, the elbow, and then like the way. So this is then more, and the si-hing Kuen, animals, elements, everything as an image, and this is the ultimate. Then all of a sudden you master this stuff, and then here comes the Tit Sin Kuen. No animals, no form, no hard punches, just all the real pure essence of all of it. Just move your body and take an advantage on your opponent always, and then controlling, put it under your control. That's the scene. So let's see again the fourth part one more time. Oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, wow. Oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, wow. Oh, hey, ta. I wanted to show you that it's possible to train the Tit Sin Kuen in a more active way, which is something you're supposed to do. So, the Tit Sin Kuen can be trained basically in 3 ways. One can be something that looks similar to the Tai Chi, the Tai Chi. Okay, so you just go, but so no contraction, but just use your waist to put spinning. It's just hey, hey, oh, hey. No strong contraction, just throw all your blows from the waist. This way of training it helps you a lot when you need to to learn how to put the origin of all your movements on the waist. The second way is the combat way, is this combat way. So you just go, hi, oh, number of possibilities of applications that you have with the Tit Sin Kuen. I wouldn't suggest you to try to put them in a real sparring situation before you master it, because you can introduce some movements that could damage your form or your goal, the ultimate goal, that is the perception of your waist. The very important and ultimate way of training it is the way that we see everywhere, not of times, unfortunately, a little, well, not exactly, but is where you use isotonic power of your muscles, because you put the maximum of effort you can put while you concentrate your energy to move all your body as a single machine that has all the same kind of tension from your head to your toes, and goes like I didn't have air to speak. So you have to put to control all the tension of all your body and have the same kind of tension everywhere. And so this is, but remember, is not hard, steady, artificial tension. Is always active, very elastic tension that you can release just in a fraction of a second to reload your waist, ready for the next action, and let the air go in. So, in spite of the fact that you practice the Tit Sin with the maximum tension, with the strongest isotonic way movement you can use, you will not be heavy breathing at the end. So if you practice it, you put all the effort, you sweat a lot, you do this. You are very tired, it's tiring, but there's no absolute. If you finish the Tit Sin and you are heavy breathing, you're doing something wrong. Okay? So this is a good marker for understanding what you're doing. Put a lot of energy. Oh. Hey. Hey. Oh, etc. And check that when you finish, there's no heavy breathing. Okay? So, I think that we let's see what is it. I hope the knowledge you share with us is very much appreciated. Respect. Thank you, Mohammed, and salam. And I hope I gave you some interesting clues today, and some suggestions, some elements that you can use for working on your forms. I think you do not need to reproduce the movements if you don't feel like it. I mean, those videos will be online forever. YouTube will be active. So I presume after my trip to the next stage of evolution, let's hope 50 years from now. And so you don't need really. Again, I am back to ask you not to be impatient. So be patient. Train your forms. Complete. Use what you see here. The ideas that I'm giving you, I'm bringing from Master Chan Hon Chung to you. I want to repeat, I'm no teacher, I'm no sifu. I'm just a box mover. I got this value, I made it mine, and I'm handing it down to whoever is interested. But I really ask you not to try to learn at the scene if you don't, if you cannot yet use what I'm saying here about the translations, the breathing and stuff in the forms. So all the concepts that we just said are perfectly useful for training the forms. Do it with your Mui Fakin. Go with the Mui Fakin is just, well, we are late. But when you do the Mui Fakin, you can do the things like, start with a salute. It's just the same, It starts from here, bam, and the same when you hope and go there, That's the same, and then the same the tiger. That comes from here, bam. You can have it. You can have a lot of work to do, but that you will see that. Remember. The Hong style is self-teaching. If you put your humbleness, if you are humble, dedicated, and conscious of what you're doing, that will be great. You'll enjoy yourself. You'll enjoy yourself much more. You will be tired, but you will be happy at the end of it. You won't every breath. You will not have your face red. Everything will be much better. So start from today to train your Mui Fakin with trying to use this concept. Start slowly and let me know. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye.